Good evening, everybody. How's it going? Let me bring this camera on. There we go. We are all set. I am coming to you tonight. I'm just going to do rapid fire question and answer on anything life or business. We talk about all this sorts of stuff on some of the other live streams or the vertical live streams, but I just want to kind of take a little time tonight and just hang out with you, answer any questions that you have, just kind of rapid fire as fast as possible. We can do some fun stuff. We can do some whatever. I don't really have a huge plan. I am trying to live stream more. I'm not ready to settle into a schedule of live streaming, but I am trying to live stream as much as possible. Good evening to you, Kevin. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you are doing awesome tonight. And we're in Florida, you and I both. We've gone an entire week without any talk of hurricanes. So cheers to making it through hurricane season. So I'll talk a little bit rapid fire tonight about any and all questions that you have, and just kind of be talking about just what's going on with me, pushing you to get better, pushing myself to get better, all these different things. And so you're going to start posting questions right away. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share a little bit about some of the things that I've been working on in my life that I know need improvement, as well as whatever else you guys have. Chime in, post it. I'll post your questions up on the screen and include them, give a good answer. If you got other things to say, to add or to clarify, you can do that. If you want to comment on other people's questions. So, and if you like this style of kind of rapid fire, maybe we'll try to do this a little more often as well. Something's on my glasses here. I don't usually stream with glasses, but my eyes just needed a break from the contact lenses today. So here's where we're at. Life is hard, right? Life is hard. Life is always changing. And I've been just coming to this realization more and more that life is hard for everyone. And what it really comes down to is, how are you going to handle the hard that's going to be dealt to you? You may look at someone from the outside, someone else's life might look perfect. They might have all the things that you want, but at the very time that they are looking at your life and you have the very things that they want. And so all of a sudden, we have this kind of dichotomy going on here in life, that you're constantly looking at other people, wishing you were in other people's positions, where in fact you were placed in the position of your life exactly where you are, where you're supposed to be for the reason that you're supposed to be there. And you need to take head on what it is that's facing you. And you might say, well, why is this facing me? Why? This doesn't seem fair. What I'm facing doesn't seem anything close to comparable to what other people are facing. And here's the reality here, that you're facing what you're supposed to be facing, or what you need to face. And you might ask me why, and I can't give you the answer why. I don't know the answer why. I just know you were either going to face it or you're going to run away from it. But if you run away from it, here's what's going to happen. It's going to be following you around every single curve, every single bend that you face in life for the rest of your life. And so I'm just going to kind of go off on this a little bit until there's questions. If you guys have questions, post them, okay? Because it's all about what you guys got and whatever you want to say. And I know this was up super, super impromptu. And so if you've got stuff too, a couple other ways too, before I hop into what I want to share a little bit while I'm waiting for comments to come in. If you're watching this on replay and you've got questions or things you want me to answer, you can just email me at asideofhustlechannel@gmail.com. I will do my best to answer. I try to check that email at least once a day, answer any questions. We've had some great emails that have come in from viewers, and I love helping you guys with anything. So if you don't feel comfortable posting it here, but you want some thoughts, okay? I'm reminded of old school cartoons here today. Scooby-Doo. Our kids had the day off from school because it was parent-teacher conference day, and so they just gave the kids the day off from school. I was working on getting my Amazon shipment prepped, but after they played outside, we let them watch TV for a little bit today, and we found old school Scooby-Doo, like the 80s version, maybe even 70s. I don't know how far back it goes, but the old school. And I'm going to tell you that one of the things that happens in those, right, if you're not familiar, Scooby and Shaggy and their gang, they always seem to come across all these mysteries that they have to solve. And of course, it's almost always somebody hiding in a costume or whatever. But before they reveal who it is, there's almost always going to be this constant. They keep running into the monster. They keep running into the monster no matter where they go, no matter where they look. And even the most unexpected places, the monster always shows up. And this is exactly what your life and this is exactly what my life is going to be until we face all of our problems head on. We are going to constantly have the monster that's waiting for us just around the corner. And until you can figure out the decisions that you need to make, the work ethic that you need to have, the ways that you need to face these things, you're going to be constantly facing those monsters and they're going to be facing you and they're going to be finding you for the rest of your life. It does not matter how old or how young you are, those monsters are always going to be constantly looking out for you. And so, what I want to challenge you is to say, what monster is it that you have been running from and that you've been hiding from because you need to confront that monster, whatever it is. And it may not seem like that big of a monster, but obviously it is a big monster if you've been avoiding it. If this thing that you've been putting off for the last 6 months or 8 months or 6 years or 8 years or your whole life, and you say it's not that big of a deal. Well, obviously it is a big of a deal because it is running your life and it is ruling your life and it is probably ruining your life to the level that it is constantly at your side. Now, I'm coming to you not as someone who is monster free. I'm actually coming to you as someone who is still counting down the many monsters that he has to face. Okay, I've been constantly working here for especially the past 2 years or so of trying to face each and every one of my monsters. And some of them are much scarier the closer I get to them than I ever thought they would be. Like I thought they were scary, and then I get closer and closer and facing them, and then you realize, wow, this is significantly scarier than I imagined or I thought it could be. And so here is the big problem that maybe you are facing, that I know I am facing, is that when we understand how scary these things are, we want to just stick our head in the sand, stick our head in the pillow. We want to avoid those things. And I'm going to promise you that doesn't make the monster go away. In fact, that just gives the monster even more time to hide and come out at an even worse time. And so what we need to do is we need to be taking on the monsters that we are facing or that we need to face, and we need to face them. We need to stop putting off all these things that we've been wanting to say, well, next week, next year, next month, next, as if the monster is going to say, oh, sure, I'm not going to torment you for the next year or week or month. I'll give you I'll give you time. I'll give you time to just no. The monster is there. And when you know the monster is there, it's constantly over your shoulder, looking over your back. It is constantly just ready to pounce and it is ready to do the things to you that it wants to do. And until you're willing to face it, it's going to be there. Another analogy that I would give you is kind of like a wall. Okay, you have a wall in your life, and you might look at somebody else and say, "Oh, well, if I had all the things that they had, then my life would be better." But they maybe have pounded down walls that you've yet to pound down. They've maybe faced the things that they know they need to face. Maybe that's why they're there. Maybe they didn't have some of the same obstacles. Maybe some of the same walls weren't in their life. Maybe they have walls that you know nothing about, or maybe they have walls in their own lives that they are stuck at that you've accomplished. And that certainly speaks to the power of community, but it also speaks to the fact that, look, when you're playing the comparison game, it's a losing game because you're either going to say that you're winning or you're losing compared to that other person. And it's based on incomplete, has highly incomplete information. It's highly incomplete information when you're saying, oh, I'm doing better than this person or I'm doing worse than this person, right? Are you doing better than someone who is living in a trailer park? Well, I don't know. Maybe you are. Maybe you are doing better than someone's living in a trailer park, but you don't know because you don't know the full context of those things. Maybe they're there, but they're happy and they're surrounded by loved ones and they have freedom to travel and free to move. And meanwhile, you're stuck in some job that you hate. You're constantly fighting with your family. You have your own money troubles. You're worried about losing things. You're worried about health concerns. So there's nothing to say that inherently your situation is better than someone. And on the other side, you may look at someone else and say, oh my goodness, they're so much better than me. They're in such a significantly better situation than anything I would be in because they have millions of dollars in the bank and they have a fancy home on the beach. But again, you don't know. That's incomplete information. They may be better than you in certain areas, but what if they're facing a diagnosis of cancer that's going to take them out in a month? Would you rather have $10 million, but then I tell you you're going to die tomorrow, or say you're going to live for 30 more years, but you're just going to live a normal average life? Right. I guarantee you, any multimillionaire who's facing their death would gladly trade their millions of dollars for years of life. And yet, that's not a choice that you or I have to make. We don't have those choices to make those things. We simply have to say, okay, what are the walls that are in front of us that are blockading us? What are the monsters that are hiding around the corner that are trying to attack us that we've never faced head on because we've been too fearful? We found every excuse in the book, every reason in the book not to face the monster head on, not to be real. I have a couple of major monsters that I'm stewing in my head that I'm like, I don't even know how to process them fully right now, but I know they need to be faced, because if I don't face them soon, then I'm going to have to face them again. But I don't know exactly what it looks like. And so my lack of activity on this now maybe partly is procrastinating, but I am trying to take a step each and every day, something that I can take, that I will take, in accomplishing that and facing that a little bit more. And I've been learning so much of this from Jordan Peterson and everything that he's teaching, is that so many people just get stuck. They get stuck in doing nothing instead of getting stuck in doing something. Okay. If you're stuck, do something. Doing nothing is the absolute worst thing that you could do if you're stuck. You just sit there, and then you're not going to get unstuck in your life if you just sit there and you do nothing. That's not going to be the ideal plan to what it is. And so here's what I want to do. I want to address anything and everything that you guys have. And again, whether you're live or on replay, you're catching up, it doesn't matter. I want to address these things for you, with you. I want to help you. I want to push you. I want to move you in the direction of getting unstuck, of moving from where you are to where you need to be. And this channel started initially just as a food delivery, gig delivery channel, which is certainly where some of you are at. But let me ask you this: are you there because you're stuck there? Like, are you stuck there? Are you stuck in food and gig delivery? Or are you there because you want to be there? Are you there because this is helping you accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life? I would venture to say, based on the conversations that I've had with most food and gig delivery drivers, is that most people are stuck in food and gig delivery and they don't know how to get out. Okay. And a handful that do know how to get out or do know how to make it out have been, in general, fairly silent about actually how they got out or how they made it out and how they did those things. And I've tried to be very open, because when you start to crack the code of how other people have gotten out, what you realize is the reason they want to keep it a secret tends to be because of selfishness. Whereas the reality is they'd be much better and much more beneficial to their audiences if they would simply speak the truth as to, this is how we got out. This is how I got out of this. And some people maybe don't have the confidence to do that. But I think a lot of people really secretly don't necessarily want to bring other people along with them. They want to thrive and they want to push other people down. And here on A Side of Hustle, we want you to thrive. As we're growing, we want to grow with you. We want to challenge you and push you and stretch you as you challenge me, push me, stretch me, and as we as a community challenge, push, and stretch each other. But this only works in the context of, look, we've got to be real. We've got to be real with the fact that maybe we are stuck. Maybe we're not where we're supposed to be. And we're going to just kind of keep pounding this drum here. I'm trying to help you guys in as many ways as possible, especially things that I've already come through. I try to give you like tidbits of, this is where I am right now, or this is what I'm working through. But I can't really tell you that it's something that I've mastered or I've excelled at if it's something that I'm still pushing or facing. But I can certainly say, hey, look, I've been trying this and this has been working, or I tried this and this didn't work, because I want to bring you along with me. I want you to be able to say, okay, look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what direction you think you're headed. You can pause everything, pivot, and then start pursuing the thing that you want to do. Pause, pivot, pursue. Okay? Pause. Stop whatever you're doing. Whatever destructive behavior that you're doing, that you know that you're doing, that you need to stop, stop it. Pause it. Okay? And then pivot. Turn to the direction that you want to turn, and then pursue whatever the ideal goal is, and pursue it with everything and keep throwing off things. You're not going to realize how many things are hindering you till you start trying to run full force, full speed ahead at the thing that is the object that you desire the most. Okay. And so here's what happens is, we think we're kind of like going in this general direction, but then we find this reason, that reason, that reason. But we're not really pursuing anything. We're just pursuing whatever, maybe a daily goal or maybe like a weekly goal, but we're not pursuing any sort of long-term goals. And so what happens is we're completely stuck. And that's maybe why you're stuck. And that's, I know why I've gotten stuck in the past, is that I just kind of I go through the motions. Life is life. And I can always find the reason, right? There's always a reason to sit and scroll your phone. I can always find the reason to do it. Like, there's good content creators out there who make awesome content. Some of it's encouraging. But you know what? If you listen to all this encouraging, inspirational content and all this motivational stuff, but you don't actually do any of those things, that content's not helping you anymore. It's hurting you. Okay. You need to, it's easy to be a consumer, but we need to push ourselves and say, look, I'm no longer going to be a consumer. I'm going to be a producer, and I'm going to pause, I'm going to pivot, and I'm going to pursue. Pause, pivot, pursue. Okay, so it's a simple 3-step process for when you are floundering, when you don't know what you need to do. And I can tell you on a large scale, this helps, but also on a daily basis. It's really easy to say, well, whatever, it's just a day. I'm just going to take a day to myself. And look, I'm not here telling you don't rest. I'm not here saying don't take a break. I'm not saying don't ever take a day off. That's not the point of it. But what I'm saying is, if you aren't taking a day off, even with the purpose, in other words, I'm going to take the day off for the purpose of resting, recovering, getting myself spiritually aligned, physically aligned, mentally aligned, getting the rest that I need to. But it's just like, look, I'm just going to lay around all day and I'm just going to watch TV and be on the computer and scroll my phone. And that's it. That's the reason you pause. You pause 24 hours just to consume a bunch of junk. That's not going to energize you. And then you're going to feel like, oh my goodness, well, I wish I would have just actually rested, or I wish I would have read my Bible, or I wish I would have, taken time to call those things. Like, there's all these things that you could have done on your rest day that would have allowed your life to be even more restful, but you failed to do them because you're just seeking the comfort, the pleasure, the temporary dopamine boost that you can get out of these temporary highs. And then the next day is just back to the grind, and you have no purpose, you have no motivation, you just have no, like, oh, here it is again. Like, well, that's because you had purposeless rest. You have purposeful rest. It has to be for the purpose of re-energizing you, starting you, getting everybody on board. Maybe it's just like pouring into your family. But if you take a day off and you just pour into yourself and you ignore your family for the day, you're not going to feel better after that. You're going to feel worse. Maybe you'll feel better for a day, but in the long run, when you look back, do you ever really say like, oh, I wish I would have scrolled on my phone more? But how many times you said, oh, I wish I would have given my kids 5 more minutes? I wish I could have just given a little bit more of myself and been all in and all focused. And all these things that we find that we come up against, they just end up being the absolute thing that kills us. They kill our dreams, they kill our lives, they kill our souls. They're just killers because we just let them consume us. So pause, pivot, pursue. Okay, so I want you to just challenge you. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, go ahead, chime in the chat. If not, I'm just going to spit fire, right? Like, that's the goal of this thread, is I want to spit fire. And if you've got questions and you got things you want to do, I want to spit fire and give you my best with all these thoughts in mind. I'm going to give you my absolute best thoughts, advice, and all of those things. However, if there's no questions, that's fine. I'm just going to spit what's on my heart and hope that it's a challenge for you. So if you got questions, I'm just going to hang out for a couple more minutes, unless we've got things that we want to answer. Otherwise, I'm just going to let this go up and be a video that's like a motivational, inspirational video for you, and let it be as that. Okay, pause, pivot, pursue. What's the thing that you need to stop doing today or tomorrow, whatever? You need to pause, take the break, pivot, change, look in the direction that you want to head, and then start pursuing, run full blast, full steam ahead at whatever your desired outcome is. Now, does that mean that you're going to get there directly? No. Does that mean that there's never going to be any twists and turns on the path? Of course not. Does that mean you'll never trip? No, of course not. Those things are going to happen. But then if you're pursuing, I want you to picture this idea of pursuing is just keeping your eyes fixed and focused on whatever it is that you ultimately desire, on the thing that you ultimately do. And then you realize, like, okay, well, I may trip, I may stumble, I may fall down, but my eyes are still on the prize. My eyes are still focused on what's ahead. And I am not going to let a trip up. I'm not going to let a little step off the path be the thing that discourages me. Instead, I'm going to let that be the very thing that fuels me to go even faster, to go even harder, to get even better, to get even stronger, to serve people more, to learn more about myself, learn more about the world around me and what it's been doing to me and how I can instead start impacting it. I'm going to learn more about how I need to grow. And then I'm going to learn about how I need to adapt. I'm going to take these things, and it's going to start to be the desiring, consuming, burning fire within you and within me. So that way, all of a sudden, it's not just, oh, I'm out here doing this, I'm out here doing this. No, I'm out here for a purpose. So if you're stuck in food and gig delivery work right now, you're going to go out there and do it with a purpose. And you're going to say, okay, here's my purpose. Your purpose is either to build a skill set or to make a certain amount of money. It's not to put hours in. Stop looking at any of these things as logging hours. All you should be doing is figuring out how much money do you need to make and how fast can you make that money. Okay, that's for food and gig delivery. That should be your number one concern. How much money do I need to make and how fast can I make it? And I want to do that as quick as possible. And then you can say anything, as soon as I did hit that goal, I'm going to spend all my extra time to do that. And so what I want to help you with in the area of food and gig delivery is be the most efficient, make the most money that you can do, learn how to figure out what works best in your market, right? Because I can't tell you what's going to work best in your market. I can share with you what works best in my market and the principles that I think are behind that. And then you take that, you apply that, and you go out and you do food gig delivery and you try to make as much money as possible, as quickly as possible, and do it as fast as possible, and then be done and get off that, and then take that extra time, because hopefully you're making more money faster, right? And then you take that and now you have extra time to pursue towards your ultimate goal. Now, if your ultimate goal is to be the best food delivery driver ever, then yeah, then obviously then you keep with that. But for most of you, that's not your ultimate goal. That's not your ultimate drive in life. That's not the passion that you're pursuing. You didn't wake up this morning saying, I can't wait to be the best driver ever. And if that is you, then you better get on YouTube and be learning and teaching other people how to come along with you on that journey. Okay. But if that's not you, if you're a food and gig delivery driver and that's not your ultimate burning goal or passion, then you need to simply do some math. Do the math and say, how much money do I need to make? And then figure out what's the fastest possible way that I can make that money each and every week, or as a lump sum, right? However you need to make it. Maybe you need it as your weekly income or your daily income right now. But then you go and do that. And as soon as that's been achieved, then you absolutely stop doing it and you move on to the next thing. And then as soon as you need to go back and make more money, you figure out how to make that money as fast as you possibly can, check it off, and then start going forward. Okay, I can tell you that the biggest money-making things that people brag about in food and gig delivery are just pennies compared to average days in so many other small business market things that you can do. And so I don't care if you're a hotshot in the food and gig delivery world, right? Like, what's a hotshot? Someone who can make $400 a day, $500 a day times 7 days, 3,500 a week, 7,000, 14,000 a month. Okay. You think there's not people making $14,000 a month as entrepreneurs? Of course they are. There's people making $14,000 a day as an entrepreneur. So if you're the best delivery driver, you're the delivery driver who's worked out a system, and you are still only scratching the very surface of what you can potentially make as a solopreneur, as an entrepreneur, as starting your own small business, starting your own YouTube channel. Okay. You will see this. This is a common recurring theme, and they're starting to talk more about it, but they were very silent about it for a long time. Most of the most famous gig tubers that you know are on YouTube because they know that food and gig delivery is not the end all be all for them. It is not the ultimate goal, and it should not be your ultimate goal unless it is your ultimate goal. Okay. What I mean is, I'm not here to tell you what your ultimate goal should be. If you've determined your ultimate goal is to be the best food and gig delivery driver, then do that and be that. But if it's not, if your job is to just, or if your goal for food and gig delivery is like, look, I just need to pay my bills, then figure out how to pay your bills with food and gig delivery work, and then start something else in the meantime that can also pay your bills. So then you can start double paying your bills, right? Because then you can now save half the money you make every month. But then once you start figuring out how to double pay your bills, then figure out how you can start scaling up that even more. And so if you're really interested in this, we've got an opportunity for you about doing scalable income. And so I'm going to show this to you because I think it's really cool, and it's something that I put together for you. It is available only to Patreon members, and I'm going to see if I can bring it up here on the screen in just a second. But it's available only to Patreon members, and it is only for our paid patron members. But you can get the patron free. Okay, you can get the patron free for the first 7 days. So you can try it, you can download it, absolutely free, cancel. I don't even care. The only reason I have it behind a paywall is because I want it to be something that you at least have value. You have considered the value of your time. You need to start valuing your time more. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick little screen share here of this, because I want to make sure I have the right thing. Here we go. I'm going to share this on the screen here really quick. There, you can see that. Okay, this is a scalable income stream. Okay, and so you can get this. I'll put the link up here. It's patreon.com/theside of hustle. All right, so I'm going to show that. Patreon.com/side hustle. You sign up for the paid tier. This is available. You can sign up. You can download it. You can have it absolutely free of charge. Just cancel within the first 7 days. But I'm putting a lot of other content on there. I've gotten a little out of my rhythm just because of dealing with the hurricanes that we dealt with here over the last couple weeks. But that's available to you because I want you to stop thinking of yourself as limited and structured in these things. And if you can start to figure out one thing that, even if it's just to start with, it's like, look, I'm just going to put in an extra hour and I'm going to make an extra $10 a week on some new project. Okay. You might say, well, $10 an hour, how is that worth anything? Well, guess what? I've been running this YouTube channel for months now. We're coming up on 10 full months that I've been running this YouTube channel, and it still hasn't monetized yet. I've been able to make some money through some streams of income here, but the reason I keep investing into it is because I value what it can bring to me. Too Evil, that's how are you doing? Thanks for joining us tonight. We're doing question and answer on anything that you have, which I know you always have great questions. I'm just kind of doing spitfire stuff, but really just challenging, encouraging everybody to be pushing yourselves. Face the monsters that you've been refusing to face and start attacking and climbing over the walls that you need to do. Stop the comparison game. And so all of that, but I want to say thank you again for hanging out with us and being with us. And I just was talking about the Patreon. So Patreon, put that back up one more time for anyone who wanted to see that. Patreon.com/side hustle. There are free tiers, but if you want that scaling income sheet, it is pinned for all paid members. And yeah, I know, absolutely. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not pretty enough. So that's available. And again, you can sign up on the paid tier and then you can cancel for free after 7 days. I want it to be available to everyone for free, but I am putting it behind the paywall just to make sure that you're at least considering kind of this concept of starting to invest money into yourself to improve yourself in a better way. So I'm taking on any and all questions that you have. I know maybe not all your questions will be stream worthy, Too Evil, but if you got anything, do that. And anything that you guys have to say about just kind of life issues, about business issues, about scaling your income up, I want to take this on. I want to do it. And again, if you're watching this on replay, you can email me at A Side of Hustle channel. I'll type this up too. Okay, so you can email me here if you're watching this on replay or live, and there's something you don't want to share publicly, you can email me there. You can also just post the comments down below. Okay, because I'm here. I want to help you. I want to challenge you. I want to push you, and I want to stretch you because that's what I'm doing to myself each and every day, challenging, pushing, stretching. I still have so much to overcome. I have so much that I need to continue to fix because the more I fix things, the more I realize how much I'm broken. And I don't know if that's true for everyone, but I can say 100% that's true in my journey. Every single time I work to fix something, I realized, well, yes, that's now fixed, but oh my goodness, I didn't realize how broken this was. Kat, how's it going? Thanks for hanging out with us. We are just spinning some fire tonight. I'm just kind of going off on just facing the monsters that you've been avoiding, overcoming the walls in your life, and not necessarily being jealous or envious of other people, and then really working on scaling up your income. I've got some little gnat thing that's like flying around my mouth. Um, can't stand the fire either. So, but I'm also taking any questions you guys have about business or life and scaling up. So you can post those. I will address those in any way possible. Okay. So I'm just saying, like, look, it's time to stop with the excuses. It's time to just that feeling that overcomes you, that overwhelms you. We need to start taking that head on. Okay. Whatever it is, there's something you're putting off. I can almost guarantee, because I know even as I'm trying to do these things, even as I'm talking about this with you tonight, I start to think of, oh yeah, there's this, there's this, there's this. And I'm not even intentionally putting them off, but it's just like, well, I always can justify, well, I should do this, or I should do that, or I should do that. And part of that was even like taking on this stream tonight. Like, I was hoping to be doing like Wednesday night streams all fall. And I know we were streaming a ton throughout the summer, and and I just keep finding reasons and excuses not to do it. Well, there's a hurricane and there's this, and I got to go out and make extra money and all these different things. Like, look, I'm not saying that some of the things that you feel aren't real. Okay, they are, but that's why you have to face them. That's why you have to take them on, because they are real, and because that that fire, that passion that used to consume you for the things that you desired most, the reason that you've lost that is because you faced a wall or you faced a monster, and instead of taking on the wall, you backed away. Okay. And maybe you're at the point where you're just punching monsters in the face and you're leaping over walls, and that's great. But I know that's not most people right now. I know most people are just living in states of fear, anger, frustration, nervousness, right? You've got all sorts of people who have all these emotions with this election coming up. I'm going to tell you, if this stuff is stressing you out, turn off the TV. Turn it off. Absolutely turn it off. And instead, if you're concerned about election stuff for whatever reason, then go do something about it. Like, yes, I know election day isn't that far away, but if that's something that's, instead of letting it frighten you, instead just go do something about it. Like, go start your YouTube channel and start sharing all of your thoughts about what's going on with the election and why people should support whatever candidate you think they should support, and go make your plea and go throw it out to the world. But don't just sit around and stare at a TV telling you what to think. Okay. And I don't care what channel it is. Okay. I don't care if it's left or right. It doesn't matter. Okay. The reason they call it TV programming is because it programs you for how to think and how to believe and how to behave. Stop it. Break that chain. Okay. I'm not saying throw your TVs out, though. I guess maybe in an ideal world, that's probably something that I would do. Yeah, television. It tells you a vision. It programs you, right? I like it. I like it. Right? So stop. Stop letting this fear control you. Stop letting it, like, because guess what? If everybody around you is fearful, then you have the chance to go speak life into all these people. You have all these people who are, their lives are like hanging in the balance for the next, what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and all these different things. Like, why? Why are you going to put your life on hold till you wait and see what person gets elected? Okay. I'm not saying don't vote. I'm not saying don't get involved in politics. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do it, instead of just talking about TV points, go form your own opinions and go present them to the world and let the world have at them. Okay. One of the best things, one of the absolute best things that you can get out of doing a YouTube channel is you throw your thoughts out to the world and you let the world critique your thoughts. You just do it and you throw that vulnerability out. I mean, if you want to get clicks beyond the too evil suggestion, that doesn't really apply to me. But if you want to get clicks, present an opinion, and present a political opinion over the next couple weeks. I bet you if you had the right personality and charisma and you care about politics, you could probably monetize a political channel in the next 2 to 3 weeks. If that was your vibe, if that's what you're all about. But you know how you're not going to do that? By sitting and watching TV. You know how you're not going to get passionate about really accomplishing the things you want to do is keeping doing the bad habits that you're already doing. Okay. So pause, pivot, pursue. Okay, that's a 3-step process. And that's what I want you to think about with anything that's holding you up from the goals that you want to accomplish. Pause. Stop doing the wrong thing that you're doing. Stop doing the thing that you know you need to stop doing that's not helping you accomplish the thing that you need to accomplish. Then pivot, turn. Okay, and then run full force, full steam ahead at whatever your thing is. So if you guys got any questions, throw them up. If not, I'm going to try to do this a little more often. I'm not promising a time per se, but I do care about you guys, and I know I can't always give the greatest attention to every single question when we're doing live streams about either sourcing or big delivery live streams, just because of the nature of those and the way it shows up on the phone, that the messages just only appear on an iPhone 8. The messages appear for about like 10, probably not 10, more like 3 to 5 seconds, and they disappear. Need a little water to quench after all that fire. We're here spending tonight. So if you got any questions about anything, that's fine. If not, we're just going to let this be, and we're going to let the stream be the thing. But this is where it is, and I'll probably just change the title or whatever. Can I change it mid? Oh, I can't do this. Well, no, I don't want to screen share. I guess it's not. I'm gonna have to change it afterwards. But yeah, so when I'm streaming, I'm streaming on an not this right now. This is my iMac. But when I'm streaming out and about on my normal things, I'm streaming on an iPhone 8. And it's like it has YouTube updated as far as it'll let YouTube update. And yeah, so it's old school iPhone 8. And then my other phone that I deliver on is an iPhone 11 Plus or something like that. So that's the level of technology we're at. But as I mentioned before, we do have a Patreon. So if you want to financially support the channel so I can get better technology, A Side of Hustle, patreon.com/A Side of Hustle. That's what we've got. They're going to be the presenting sponsor. Can I sponsor my own videos with myself? Absolutely. Yes, I can. So if you're looking and you want to support the channel, you appreciate what we're bringing to you, that's the place that you can go. But if you have any other questions, anything else that you want to reach out with me about, anything about this or anything else regarding side hustle stuff or just life improvement, A Side of Hustle channel at gmail.com. I will absolutely, absolutely, absolutely do my best to answer any and all of your questions. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to serve you. I want to provide value for you. I'm trying to figure out what I'm probably going to start posting more videos, but they're going to be like short to the point, uncut stuff because that's all I have time for right now. Because I want to passionately pursue the growth of this YouTube channel, and yet at the same time, the style of video that I have the time to produce is that. Okay, so how do you decide? This is good question. Good question. So we'll take this, and any other questions, if you got them, throw them, and I'll get to them. But when the questions are done, the stream is done. Okay, so how do you decide what's important to put money into to grow your channel? Okay, the number one thing that I would work on, and my goal is, and this is not coming from experience so much as just the research from what I've heard. The number one thing is audio. Okay, audio trumps video when it comes to the growth of your channel. So if you can only improve one thing, I would improve the audio first. So that would mean if you're speaking, obviously, some form of a microphone. I've at least started to I'm looking. I'm not seriously looking, but I am looking, trying to learn a little bit more about it. So that way, when I have the opportunity, I can make the jump and say, okay, yep, I know this is what I want to buy. And then if I come across a used version or a cheap version, not a cheap version, but like a on sale or a clearance version of it, then I'm ready to go with that. So audio would be the number one. Okay. And do the best with what you have. Okay. When you have nothing, it's not about who has the most resources. It's about who has the most resourcefulness. Okay. I learned that from Think Media and Sean Cannell. Okay. The second thing that I would do is I would exhaust every other free thing that you can possibly think of before you spend a penny. Okay. So, and if you're not sure what to do, this is where other things, and I reference them a lot, like I just did, but I would start with Think Media. Okay. Think Media have been talking and teaching about how to grow a YouTube channel for years. And they have courses and they have classes, of course. But everything that's in their courses and classes, or at least 90% of what's in their courses and classes, they give away for free. But you just have to do the work of listening to maybe hundreds of hours of videos to get the most condensed 10 hours worth of stuff. And so it's the trade-off. But I have just, even this channel, I've put very minimal amount of money into it. The main things that I have put into, the only thing that I have paid any money for, I believe that directly, there's probably two things I can think of that I've paid for directly related to the channel. And if I think of something later, I'll let you know. I'm not doing this to say like, oh, look, I'm so awesome. I'm just thinking like I'm on a super tight budget. So one, I do have the paid subscription for ChatGPT because I want to bring to you my thoughts and I want to bring to you good videos, but I don't have the business acumen. So ChatGPT is essentially like my hired employee to help with things like SEO, search engine optimization, helping write good descriptions, helping write good titles. I'll even show you this because I think it's kind of cool. I started with a thumbnail for tonight, and then I had ChatGPT evaluate it. Okay, and I'll show you this and give me advice, and then was able to improve it. And I think it took like 4 tries to get to this thumbnail. So here, this was the original thumbnail. Okay, right there was the original thumbnail. Now I created that thumbnail, but I had ChatGPT evaluate it. And then this was take 2 of the thumbnail. Okay, this was take 3 of the thumbnail. Okay, and then this is the final take of the thumbnail. Okay, and so it was me editing the thumbnail. Okay, but then we went from this idea that I had, but then to something much more on topic. Now, does that mean that that's the best thumbnail ever? Absolutely not. But when I look at the two, I'm like, wow, yeah, the final thumbnail conveys the image of what I was going for significantly better than the original thumbnail. And that's what it is. So I consider, ChatGPT kind of as my paid assistant, and I forget what the plan is per month, but it's not anything super significant, and it's just really great. But I find the absolute best use for ChatGPT is it organizes my thoughts for me. I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm very scatterbrained sometimes when it comes to taking those thoughts and putting them in a way. And I kind of just have a mode. I have a mode of the way I talk, and I have a mode of the way I think, and I have a mode of the way I write, and all of those things sometimes are beneficial, but other times they can kind of lock me in a box. So that's one. And then the other one, if you really are looking to on the software side, is NVIDIA. Is it NVIDIA? No, hold on. What is it? Not NVIDIA. No, NVIDIA is fun to play around with. And if you want to work with doing faceless channel stuff, so I have paid a little bit on NVIDIA, but that was working with it for a faceless YouTube channel, which I'm pausing from right now just because it was a distraction. Um, oh my goodness, now I can't even remember what it is. You can obviously tell I haven't used it for a couple weeks. I've definitely been out of, um, I've just kind of been out of things for a little bit. I'm really trying to go all the way in on this. So now, why can I not think of it? I did one other piece of software. Hold on. Let me see if I can just. I'm like totally. I'm gonna find this now because for two reasons. One, because I obviously haven't been using it to improve my channel recently. Let me see if I can do it here. Hold on. I'm gonna look on another. I'm gonna look on here because now it's just gonna totally bug me. vidIQ. There we go. All right. So it's this vidIQ. So if you're wanting to jumpstart, okay, so if you're wanting to jumpstart what you're doing, um, let's see, I think it's that one. Hold on one second. Let's see. But vidIQ would be like on the software side, if you're just wanting to, it'll give you insights to your videos, what's working, what's not working, gives you tons of great ideas. It's essentially, it does a lot of the same work that ChatGPT does, but with a specific spin towards um, YouTube. So it kind of depends on what you need. If you have needs for things beyond just video stuff for AI, then I would probably go with the Chat GPT. If on the other hand, you're only looking for AI to help you with your YouTube channel, then vidIQ is probably the better way to go. All right, so hold on, let's log out here one more time. Let's go log in. Let me see if I have, yeah, okay, and let me show you this because this is kind of cool because it's even showing me stuff in real time. So here, I'll show you a little bit about what this looks like. So we're gonna present, and hold on. Let me make sure there's no, don't think there's anything that I need to hide. No, it's not showing any contact or personal information. So I'll show you a little bit behind the scenes of what this looks like. because I think it's really kind of cool. So let's go here, screen share, and then we're going to go here. Okay, so this shows you a little bit as to kind of what this looks like. So if I want to, I can go right on here, right? And so let's say, so we know we want to, so it actually likes my title. I did not run this through vidIQ before I started, but it likes my title. It gives it an 85 out of 100. But let's generate some things, right? So, and again, some of it is like, you know, I'm ready to tell the truth about the mafia. So again, you're AI, so it's still kind of learning. I'm buying Twitter, answering your questions, obviously. But you know, I answer your business and life questions, AMA. In this case, all their suggested ones are not as good as mine. But I'm going to add this, facing monsters and climbing walls. Okay, so this is like in real time. Now my title might be a little bit too long, and I don't know if it's going to like the title as much. Let's see. It doesn't like it quite as much, but we're going to still stick with that. We're going to, oh, I got it. Apparently it's not letting me, I got to like reauthorize. So I'm not going to do that right now, but I can do that. But then I can get insights into other videos as well here. So for example, let's go to like a real video. All right, so I can click on this one. This was the Hurricane Helene ride along, DoorDash, Instacart, Uber Eats, and my biggest tip ever. So it doesn't really like that title, right? So it's going to give me Hurricane Helene, riding the storm and tips for surviving, surviving a hurricane, tips from a ride along, Hurricane Helene, tips for riding out of hurricane, featuring Hurricane Helene. So it's got some things, but it also has some different thoughts that you can do. But then there's other things you can do in this as well. So then there's like outliers. So these are like videos that are getting more views than subscribers. So you can see this one here, food delivery sucks. Let's talk about it. Okay, this video has 17,000 views, but they only have 3,000 subscribers, right? So this is what's called an outlier. That's a video that did really well for them, that goes beyond, you know, what they have. And that was only from a month ago. This one's from longer ago, but you can still see the same concept. Uber Eats driver ride along food delivery, ride along with Bree, 55,000 subscribers, 130,000 views. Okay, the number one problem with delivery jobs and gig economy. You know, 52,000. Now, I don't know why that's an outlier, but maybe it's just getting more views than their normal video. Different things. You know, there's security guard in custody after food delivery dispute turns deadly. So all these things then can give you ideas that can help you with like, oh, okay, how can I do this? And then let me show you, I'll show you one more thing here. So you can do create. If you go on the create tab, this gives you some inspiration. You know, and you can save ideas, you know, answer questions, best strategies for rural delivery areas with return trips, how to handle long distance delivery requests effectively, strategies for becoming a top rated driver on gig apps, how to consistently earn $600 in food delivery, take reinventing viral videos, okay, delivering food to friends I haven't seen in 5 years, right? So there's all these different things. You're like, okay, well, these are ideas. These are things that maybe you can try. Give you ways to remake things. Emerging trends, food truck finesse strategies, tip baiting awareness for delivery drivers, unlocking free pizza with apps, maximizing tips with quick office orders, right? And so you can do that. There's just so much stuff that you can do. Threatened by scammers, my experience as a DoorDash driver. These are daily ideas, so it'll generate new ideas every day. How I turned a side hustle into a career, earning by the hour, a 4-hour nonstop DoorDash challenge. Platinum DoorDash driver quits after just 1 week. Biking through Chicago's rush hour, right? Like all these different things. And so it just kind of depends on which particular thing. And I know I haven't been looking directly at the screen here, but kind of depends on exactly what you would do. But I would say, you know, if you're looking on the physical side, the tools, audio quality first, as I hear that in my headphones are about to die anyway here. But audio quality first. But if you're looking for software, then vidIQ would be that. And let's see. Let me just check one other thing here real quick from this. Hold on, I might. Let me see. I might have a referral. Let me see. Let me see if I have a referral. I don't know if I do or not. Yes. All right. I got an affiliate. You do not have to use it. Um, it is completely up to you, but I will post it for anyone. Um, hold on, I gotta figure this out. Yeah. Let's go copy and paste. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to type it. I'm just gonna have to type it. It's very simple if you wish. Okay, so if you want to try out vidIQ, that's my affiliate link. You do not have to go through that. You can just sign up through vidiq.com. If you sign up through an affiliate link, then I get a small portion as a referral fee and you support the channel. So it's 100% up to you. You can, but check it out for sure. I believe there are free tiers as well. Oh, I found it. Is that a better way? No. All right. Anyway, I believe there's ways that you can try it out for free, similar to StreamYard. So if you're wanting to do live streams from a laptop, this program is StreamYard. You can see it at the top. I believe it's the top right of your screen. It's the top right of my screen. You'll see the little duck. I'm just on the free plan for StreamYard. So if you're wanting to do live streaming, get some of these features, it's pretty cool how much stuff is out there for free. And even ChatGPT. So if you want to do like a subscription on vidIQ, there is some stuff you can do on ChatGPT for free. It's really fun to just play around with it and try out different things and think of new ways. So let me just show you really quick. Let's create I'll show you a little bit of like what maybe you can do with ChatGPT in terms of YouTube. So we'll share the screen one more time. I'm trying to get a lot more comfortable with this. So we're going to go here, ChatGPT. We're going to share it. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I might do this. Okay, so I need 5 video ideas for my YouTube channel aside of Hustle. Now, it should be noted that ChatGPT remembers and kind of catalogs all your threads together. So as soon as I say aside of Hustle, it will then pull anything from a Side of Hustle channel from any of the other threads, which is really, really cool because all of a sudden it's like it's building this whole catalog. It knows a whole bunch about my channel of all things that we've talked about, decisions we've made before, live streams about this. Okay. And this is actually an exercise I was going to do tonight anyway, so I'll show you in real time what this would look like. I want to continue to push. Let me just change. And again, here's the thing with this, because you will, it takes your muddled thoughts, which I kind of have between this in real time, okay, but it'll help turn it into something good. So I want to encourage people to join my Patreon, comma, and I'll just give it, I'll give the whole thing again, for it, because then it will help reference, it knows some of the content that I've been working on the Patreon side to do that. I want to make short 2 to 5 minute long form videos. In this case, I'm going to get really short. I want to make 2 to 5 minute long form videos. I want them to be similar to the spitting fire video idea we talked about tonight. it should tie into the content of the YouTube channel as well as the Patreon. Give me 5 ideas and a 1-sentence description of each. Okay, so I'm going to feed all that to ChatGPT. All right, and then I'll look these things over. All right, so then it's going to give me 5 ideas here. Here are 5 ideas that tie into the Side Hustle channel. Encourage viewers to join your Patreon. Why you're still broke and how to break free. A passionate breakdown of the mindset shifts needed to escape financial stagnation, start building multiple income streams. Inviting viewers to join the journey with exclusive tools on Patreon. Now, let's just assume for a second that we're going to go with that idea, because I could read through all of them, but let's not worry too much about that. Okay, so then we'll say something along the lines of take video number 1 and create an outline. Make sure you include the serve, learn, grow, adapt to freedom mindset. It should involve 1 or 2 personal stories from me. It should involve at least 1 piece of cited research. Okay? And again, you can give it whatever prompts you want. And the better prompts you give it, it's going to do. All right, so then it gives the outline, it gives the hook. If you're still broke, it's not just about the money you're not making, it's about the way you're thinking. Now that feels a little awkward, so we go back and fix that. Right? Energy, urgency, briefly mention the serve, learn, grow, adapt, freedom mindset. Breaking free isn't about a quick fix, it's about changing your whole approach to life and money. Invite viewers to stay to the end, hear actionable steps and special opportunity to join your Patreon for deeper insight. Transition a personal story of your own financial struggles. Okay. Explain how you realized your mindset was keeping you stuck. Share a relatable story. Okay. And then I'll break down all this stuff. And then you can see this. And all of a sudden, it's now spit out a 6-minute video, rough idea, that I can take and go over all these different things. And so this is, you can do some of this stuff within vidIQ as well. I think some certain things just work better on the vidIQ side, and some things work better on the ChatGPT side. But it's just a really, really great thing that you can do. You can just kind of take things, you can break them down and be like, okay, here's what it is. And anything you don't, obviously you're making the video, so you can be like, okay, I don't like this. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just copy this whole thing and then I'll throw it into like notes. And then when I'm in notes, then I can take time and I can be like, okay, let me rearrange this, let me retype this. But if you're like me and you have lots of thoughts, but they're a little jumbled, and you have trouble sometimes maybe communicating an exact format or way of doing this, that's one of the ways that you can run ChatGPT or vidIQ. Either of them would work potentially in that context. Okay, but basically you just go through and whatever prompts that you want it to give, and then let's say I'll just give this just as an example. I don't like the hook. Make it shorter and catchier. It should have a punch, but also open a curiosity loop. Please give me 5 new hook ideas. And then let's say include the theme of freedom in at least 2. Okay, Here are 5 punchy hook ideas. Clear open curiosity loops, set the tone for your video. If you're still broke, you're probably doing this one thing wrong. The reason you're broke isn't about money, it's about how you think. You'll never find freedom unless you break this habit. Let me show you how. Tired of being stuck? I was too, until I learned this one thing that changed everything. What's keeping you broke is exactly what's stopping you from freedom. Okay? And so you can see this, and it's like, okay, I like this. I don't like that. This doesn't sound like how I would talk. This sounds like how I wish I would talk. Okay. And then you can break it down as much as you want, and you can personalize. Remember, none of these things force you. You're not forced to use anything that's in here. And so a lot of times I just use this to clarify my thoughts, general ideas, and then I'll have it pump out a script, and then about, yeah. But here's the thing, the titles that you've seen, right? Now we're not even to the title part, because it'll do that too. But the reason that those are the titles that style of title works. Now, you can be completely different too. So you can say, give me 5 clickbait titles. All right, for this video, and give me 5 titles that are, and I mean, you can give it any characteristic, that are straightforward and direct. Okay, and then you can give me 5 titles just for fun to show you that. So when you're seeing these things, it's because this is what people are generating, because this is what the research says works. And then as the research changes as to what works, then things will go from there. So you can give me 5 titles written by a cowboy. All right, so you go for this video. All right, just to show you, like, you can create anything that you want, and it'll do it. So you can, so 5 clickbait titles. You're broke because you're making this one mistake. Fix it now. How I broke free from being flat broke. You can too. The secret of why you're still broke. No one's talking about this. Shocking truth. The real reason you're not making money. This one shift will break your cycle of being broke. Guaranteed. Okay, here's 5 straightforward tips. Or 5 straightforward titles. Why you're still broke and how to change it. How to stop being broke and build multiple income streams. The real reason you're not making money and how to fix it. Breaking free from financial struggles, a practical guide. How to overcome financial stagnation and create wealth. And then 5 titles written by a cowboy. Broke as a buck, but here's what you can do to ride into freedom. Time to saddle up and leave your broke days behind. From pennies to prosperity, grit your teeth and break free. Ain't no gold in your pocket. Here's how to rustle up some. How to wrangle your way out of broke and ride toward freedom, right? So the prompts there are 100% up to you, right? You create the prompts, and then you can say, okay, I like this. That's too corny. That's too much. Maybe I want to do it. Okay. I'll just do 5 more titles that all start with the same letter. Okay. 5 titles that have a joke or wordplay in them. Okay. I mean, so you can do like anything that you want, right? Break free from being broke, build a better life, stop saying stuck, start scaling side hustles, master the mindset to make more money, from financial frustration to freedom fast, change your cash flow by changing your choices. All right, and then 5 titles with jokes or wordplay. Why are you broke? It's time to cash in on some common sense. Feeling penniless? Let's make this sensible change. Broke today, boss tomorrow. Let's turn the tables. Tired of being broke? Let's break up with poverty. No more flat wallets. Let's get you a financial six-pack. Right? So, oh yeah, and this is what's great is, like, it can take your personality and enhance it, and it can also take your personality and move it into a language that is spoken by what it is. Okay, so now let's say instead I want to say, give me 5 follow-up titles for the Patreon post that will greet people who are joining from this video. Okay, so give me, here are 5 follow-up titles for the Patreon post that will greet new members during this video. Welcome to your breakthrough. Let's build your path to freedom together. You've taken the first step. Now let's turn hustle into wealth. Congrats on joining. Here's how we'll break free from being broke. You're in. Let's start scaling your side hustle for real results. And welcome to the hustle community, ready to crush financial limits, right? So anything that you want, and it'll just keep tying things in, and you can just say, well, pick from here and pick from there and get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And that's what's so great about it, is because now all of a sudden this is your paid assistant until it's way cheaper than hiring someone, and until you have the budget to do it. And that's on the ChatGPT 4.0, which is the paid. So you get slightly better and more results. They will cap how many requests you can do if you're on like the base plan, the free plan, but it will still work just fine if you're doing it. Now, let's say you don't even know how to do this, okay? So I'm going to give you one more thing. I'm going to screen share one more time on this, because you might be like, this is like kind of so intimidating. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so let me show you. So I am teaching viewers of my YouTube channel how to use your services to create a catchy title for a YouTube video. Please give an example of a prompt. Actually, I'm going to do this as a separate, so I'm going to start a new, because it's not really, I'm going to do this as a separate thing here. Please give an example of a prompt that I could use to create a catchy, so we'll do even more than that. Catchy title, description, script. Please use to talk about why mom jokes are better than dad jokes. Don't actually give me the information. Just teach me how to write a prompt to you that will give me the information I want. Feel free to put it in an outline form or list that I can simply fill in the blank. Okay, so I'm going to teach your viewers how to write a prompt for me to generate a catchy YouTube title, description, script. You can outline the following steps. Okay. Define the main topic clearly. In this step, explain the core idea of the video. I want to create a video about why mom jokes are better than dad jokes. Request a catchy title. Ask me to create a title that's both attention-grabbing and SEO optimized. Create a catchy YouTube video title that explains why mom jokes are better than dad jokes. Request for an engaging description. Ask for a brief description, 2 to 3 sentences that includes key search terms and explains the video's value. Write a short YouTube where am I? Write a short YouTube video script, a description that introduces the topic of mom jokes versus dad jokes using relevant keywords to help it rank. Request for a script online. Specify the kind of tone and flow you'd like for the video. Example, outline a fun and humorous script for a video that compares mom jokes and dad jokes with lighthearted tone and key talking points. Ask me to include an effective call to action example. Include a CTA in the script that encourages viewers to subscribe for more fun videos about family humor and jokes. Example prompt for you or your viewers to copy, right? And I'll even copy this for you, just so you can have this, because why not? I'm going to copy and paste this. This is straight from ChatGPT for you guys. It's not going to show the whole thing, but I'm just going to read it too, so you can see it. A catchy title, a short SEO optimized description, outline of a fun humor script with key points and examples, a CTA for subscribing for more family humor content. Okay, now please write the actual prompt for this video. Using what you provided and my thoughts. Fun, lighthearted. Let's do one person playing multiple characters, so only one character, can't spell, can be on the screen at a time. Include 2 example mom jokes that are clearly better than dad jokes. All right. And then, so based on my ideas, all right, I want to create a fun, lighthearted video about why mom jokes are better than dad jokes. The video will feature one person playing multiple characters, so only one character can be on the screen at a time. Can you give me a catchy YouTube title, short SEO optimized, an outline of humor, script that highlights why mom jokes are funnier, including 2 examples, mom jokes that are clearly better than dad jokes. Make sure the script incorporates a single character format where each character appears individually on screen, a call to action at the end. Okay. Now, please generate the results of that prompt. Okay. Here's the full set of responses based on the prompt. I'm not going to read out the whole thing, but you can just see. Mom jokes versus dad jokes, the ultimate showdown, mom wins. Why are mom jokes funnier than dad jokes? In this hilarious, lighthearted video, one person plays multiple characters to explore why mom jokes steal the spotlight. Get ready to laugh at the 2 top-tier mom jokes that leave dads in the dust. Don't forget to subscribe for more family humor, right? And then you have the whole script like that. Jaeger, we're just doing anything. I am showing a little bit about how to use ChatGPT if you're looking to do some optimization with YouTube videos. That's specifically what we're talking about right now. You'll have to go back and watch the whole video. The first half of the video is just kind of an impassioned plea that I have to you on just facing the monsters and overcoming the walls in your life and overcoming the challenges in your life. And then the second half, just answering questions, mostly from Kat, about how to do things. So, and we just kind of got on the topic of YouTube. So, and just how to improve your YouTube channel, kind of talked about vidIQ and ChatGPT, and we talked about like what upgrades, if you're going to spend money on your YouTube channel, where would you? Now, again, I'm not a YouTube expert. I'm still very much in the learning process. So I would highly, highly encourage you to look to other people. I also highly encourage every one of you to start a YouTube channel. I think it is just one of it's one of the last few gold rushes I think we're going to see for a while. And I still think there's lots of time and opportunity to carve out your niche, even if you're never going to be a Mr. Beast with, you know, 1 billion followers or whatever he has. I don't know what the number is. I still think there's a lot of people out there who want to hear the messages that you guys have to share. And you don't have to have everything perfect from the start. In fact, I think what a lot of people like is I think a lot of people like growing with the YouTubers, right? There's just something about growing with someone. And I know I will speak to you personally because you guys have been with me for a while now, you know, a good chunk of this journey. I enjoy growing with you. And it's fun. It's fun to see things. And you know, Kat, it's fun to see your videos. You know, I remember talking way back when you were kind of just like getting started with those things and seeing how they've come. And it's like, wow, like, I'm like, your creativity is like so much better than mine when it comes to those shorts. Like, I struggle to like try to find engaging shorts and everything. Those boxes, so we're still not 100% put back together in the house from the hurricane, and we're probably going to be moving here again soon to a new place. Those are all baseball cards. So that was my old setup. I have my signs. They're just in front of me now. Freedom. But they're just down. In fact, the actual boxes that were behind me that had the whole display, I think I actually already used those to ship in product to Amazon. Like, so you'll probably have a scene change from me here within the next month or so. But those are just baseball card boxes for now. Stuff that I have up on, most of it's up on eBay. There's a little bit that's not, but most of it's stuff that's available on eBay. So that's basically it. I do think I'm kind of done for the night. But I think I'm going to try. Like, I'm not promising a schedule yet, but I want to try to do a little bit more of this, and I want to try to do a little bit more of some hangouts from, just here and some Ask Me Anything and kind of spin fire type of stuff, because it just feels good to me, and hopefully it's a challenge and encouragement to you. If you are just coming on here at the end, I encourage you. You can actually just go right back to the beginning and get caught up. There's just some good stuff, some good challenges, I think, and then a good conversation if you have, especially anything about YouTube. But there's some other things back in there too. Like I said, one last time, how's it going, Shane? Oh my goodness, everybody's showing up right as like I'm fading. But I do want to encourage you, if you are getting value and you want to support the channel, I would love to have. I'm trying to really grow the Patreon base until we have like the YouTube subscriptions and stuff going on here. And so I would love to have you come join us in the Patreon. You can join for free. There are tiers. There is a paid tier where you get access to more stuff, but I would love to have you come on over there. And if you are being blessed by this channel and you want to support it, that is the best way that you can do that. Yeah, hit that like and subscribe as well. I always forget that too. You know, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm pushing to do as many lives as I can, as well as some short, long form, but unedited stuff. I think I just have to, for right now, I have to take a break from the ride along videos. I have to do either, not the live ride alongs, but the fully edited, pretty looking ride alongs where I take, 3 hours of footage and turn it into a 10-minute video. That editing just takes too much time. And honestly, I'd rather spend the 2 hours of editing on 2 hours hanging out with you guys in a live stream right now as we build up the channel. I always love giving this update too, just so you guys know. I'll give you guys the channel update, because I've been pushing here to do as much stuff as we need here. So for our live stream monetization, we need to get to 3,000 watch hours, which means you can send super chats. Like I had someone the other day who wanted to send a super chat to do like ice cream for my kids, and couldn't do it because we're just not to that level yet. And to get there, we need to get to 3,000 watch hours. We are at 2296. Okay, 2296. That's where we're at. So I mean, that bar is as close to 3,000 as it's ever been. It's actually going to be over 3,000 in the next couple of days, because there's like a 5-day lag on this. So that's through the 18th. And I've live streamed how many days in a row now? I don't even know. Or 4 out of 5 days, something like that. Let's see. I actually did 2 live streams yesterday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 2 on Tuesday. So yeah, like 5 days in a row we've live streamed. So I'm trying to do that, but I'm not just trying to produce content to get watch hours. I want to make sure that I'm providing as much value for you guys as we possibly can. So tomorrow I am probably gonna be home and probably gonna be packing up my Amazon shipment. It's almost fully prepped. So, and I'll show you some of that. So I'll probably do an Amazon related live stream at some point tomorrow, and then I'm going to try to produce some videos, and then I've got new content going on the Patreon. So I'll give you one last teaser for the Patreon. I would love to have you come on over. So let me because you don't get to see all this from, let's see, let's view as a paid member so you can see what you would actually see. And I've got new stuff that I'm planning on getting up here starting tomorrow. We had a rhythm, and then we had a hurricane, and then we lost the rhythm. So let me do one last, just so you can see what you're getting from it on. All right, so this is what you would, if you were a paid member, you would see that. So I'm behind by about a week, but it's perfect because I can just pick up tomorrow, because I kind of have a daily thing. So I've got like individual things. It's unique stuff. A lot of this stuff on here is not, some of it's reading stuff. Okay. There's actual resources and stuff that we provide for you if you're looking into growing certain things, and anything that you want, we'll kind of piece it all together. Okay, I have videos that are on there that are exclusive to the Patreon. They're hosted on YouTube, but they're private on YouTube. So, I mean, you can see these are all, we're still not even to the beginning of October yet. And this is with interruptions. Okay, so like the 1, 2, 3, and I'm trying to post almost every single day and be on that schedule. So if you want to hop on over, I would love to have you do that. I'm not just doing it as a money grab. I promise you that. I'm trying to just provide just deeper stuff. So if you like, hey Jaeger, well, I'll at least be live sometime. I meant to go live tonight because I did deliver supper, but I forgot my other phone at home. So I only delivered. I did $80 in 3 hours, which is amazing for a Wednesday night. I was super stoked. It was mostly thanks to like a $40 order. I had a $40 catering order on DoorDash. It's like DoorDash. Well, those you know who have been streaming live, my DoorDash has been glitchy in a very good way. It's been functioning essentially like it used to on Top Dasher, and it's still true. And my acceptance rate, I'm still platinum, and my current acceptance rate, Platinum Dasher with a 43% acceptance rate, it keeps going down because I can cherry pick anything I want. So, and I'll show you. This was the big one. I had 2 pluses before this. Well, yeah, before this big one, I had a 650 plus that turned into a 7 and a 6 plus that turned into a 650. I was like, come on, man. And then I got a 17 plus, and that was tonight. So that showed as a 17 plus, and it was a 40. So, anyway, my DoorDash has been glitchy, and I'm loving every minute of it, and knowing it's not going to last for long. But also, I'm going to probably try to get my acceptance rate back up to 70% by October 31st, in case it is functioning on the old Top Dasher system. But anyway, I really would love it if you guys would come on over. And if like you can, there's a free tier too. So there's this stuff is available. Some of it is available as on free. All of it's available if you're on a paid tier. You can try the paid tier out for a week. If you don't like it, you can always downgrade to free. There's actually some of the stuff is available. You don't even have to be a member. You can just find the channel. Even if you like, if you don't even want to log in to Patreon, like you can just find the channel directly. And I have about 2 posts a week that are just absolutely free to the entire public. And I know it's actually working because because some of these posts are getting like more impressions than like the actual subscribers we have. So we currently have 1 paid patron. Thank you to Lisa for supporting the channel. I know she's not on tonight, but appreciate that. Yes. So I am there. Well, guess what? If this stays, then I can probably do a DoorDash challenge soon if they keep sending me these things. But I actually rejected a catering order before I took that 17. They sent me an $8 for 6 mile catering order, and I rejected it. I'm like, I hope I don't regret this. And then boom, they sent me the 17 plus. So anyway, if you want to, but I'm also trying to build into you. So again, there's free tiers and paid tiers. But if you want to support the channel, that's a great way that you can do it until we get monetized. But of course, all your watch hours. And if you haven't yet done it, guess what? Like Jaeger, if there is stuff, if you're missing me, just find some of my old ride along videos that you haven't watched yet and just stream those as you're delivering. You'll kind of feel like I'm in the car with you, but it won't be quite. It just goes faster. And the other tip I have for you guys is like if you can, just play everything like on a faster speed. Like I listen to almost all my videos on YouTube now on double speed because even my own, even when I'm like listening to my own to critique them or whatever, I do that. So all right. Anyway, that's where we're going tonight. I appreciate you guys as always. You are awesome. I look forward to seeing you, hanging out with you soon. I'll probably be doing a packing my shipment to Amazon stream tomorrow, and then maybe I'll also do a supper stream. I'm going to try any day that I'm actually out delivering. I'm going to try to stream. I just have to remember to bring the phone, which I forgot tonight. So my apologies for that, and appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. If you haven't seen this, you still have time to just scroll back to the beginning of the video too, and go back to the beginning, and then kind of get caught up because it spent the first half an hour was like me talking, and then we got into some question and answer stuff. So Appreciate you all. Have a great night.